Good evening and thanks for joining us. Our top story at 5. The search continues for a killer that murdered 2 camp counselors on a secluded Northern California beach. The bodies of 2 Christian camp counselors were found on Fishhead Beach just north of Jenner. Investigators say Lindsay Cutshaw and Jason Allen were both shot in the head as they slept. The engaged couple was working as camp counselors at a Christian summer camp in the Sierra. They left on Friday, but when they failed to return after the weekend, camp organizers reported them missing. Their bodies were later discovered on Wednesday. So far, police have no motive, no weapon, and no suspect. And that murder case is causing some concern among weekend campers. However, hundreds of Northern Californians were still determined to enjoy the outdoors today. They flocked to camping and hiking grounds in the region. But some say the double homicide of the 2 counselors is weighing heavily on their minds and making them not take safety for granted.
Well, it's really sad because I heard that they were 2 Christian couples, and that really concerned me being a Christian too. So that's really concerning. But I was wondering why they got killed. You never know how people are or anything. Just have to be safe and aware of your surroundings at all times.
Law enforcement officers say crime can happen anywhere, but if you are going to enjoy the outdoors, safety tips include camping in a group and keeping a fully charged cell phone handy. An Elk Grove police officer shot and injured a runaway driver after he thought the man was pulling a weapon on him early this morning. 27-year-old Mike Whitkin raced to his family's home on Edgeware Way after fleeing from a routine traffic stop. The officer who was trying to pull him over says he saw Whitkin reach for a weapon. That's when the officer drew his gun and fired 2 rounds.
We received a call shortly thereafter from inside the residence from the suspect's family, stating that he was in the residence and he was injured with gunshots.
Mike Whitkin then surrendered to authorities and was taken to UC Davis Med Center for his wounds. He is charged with felony assault and evading. Sacramento police responded to a high-speed crash outside the state capitol overnight. Investigators say the driver of a red Ford van sped toward the capitol at a high rate of speed around 2 o'clock this morning. That's when the van hit a curb, struck a light pole, and then went airborne. It landed just outside the employee entrance to the Capitol garage. The driver was taken to UC Davis Medical Center. At last check, he was in critical condition. And here is the latest from Iraq. Militants loyal to radical cleric Muqtada al-Sadr are keeping their grip on a key shrine in the holy city of Najaf. But hostage takers may be ready to release an American journalist. Elaine Cobb has the very latest from Baghdad.
American troops again clashed with Shiite militiamen in the holy city of Najaf, facing mortars, machine gun fire and rocket-propelled grenades. Clearly, the 2-week-old standoff at the Imam Ali shrine is far from and guard the site. After all the broken promises of the past 2 weeks, many here wonder if al-Sadr is really planning to evacuate the shrine or simply playing for time, so his men Baghdad.
A Marine from Marysville has been killed in Iraq. 27-year-old Harvey Parkinson III was shot and killed by Iraqi insurgents near the holy city of Najaf on Wednesday. Parkinson was stationed at Camp Pendleton near San Diego. He was a member of the 11th Marines Expeditionary Unit. He is survived by a wife and 2 sons. Parkinson graduated from Orland High School in 1996. Democratic presidential candidate John Kerry has been busy firing back at ads that attack his military service. Kerry's campaign released a new internet ad today that compares the attack on Kerry's service to the insults that Bush fired at John McCain in the 2000 presidential election. In one of the Bush ads from 2000, he claimed McCain had abandoned his military unit, which proved to be false. Kerry's campaign team says this shows Bush is only using old tricks to try to defeat Kerry. Well, on the heels of Fahrenheit 9/11, another documentary scrutinizing the Bush administration premiered on Friday. It's called Bush's Brain. It's based on the best-selling book by the same name, which examines the role of presidential advisor Karl Rove. Nancy Holland reports.
George W. Bush would not be president without Karl Rove.
Those involved in this film and admirers of strategist Karl Rove agree he is brilliant.
Karl is now co-president of the United States.
On much else, they diverge.
I think the dangerous element here is this is a guy who, as we've researched him, and as we've made this film, it really will stop at nothing to it.
Media experts say documentaries often preach to the choir, enough so that some Republicans are simply... Nancy Holland for CBS News.
In the meantime, George Bush Sr. left the Olympics today. The former president said the Greeks had allayed any security fears he initially had before the Games. The senior Bush is head of the U.S. delegation to the Athens Olympics. Also, Michael Phelps earned his 5th U.S. Olympic gold medal on Friday night in the 100-meter butterfly race. And Iraqi soccer fans are celebrating. Iraq's Olympic soccer team has reached the semifinals, beating Australia in the quarterfinal. Jennifer Cryer will have more on the Olympics and all of your sports news at 6. And up next here on KOVR 13 News at 5, manicures and facials aren't just for ladies. The new spa treatment's pampering a tougher crowd. Plus, we're going to tell you how you can win a Harley and support a good cause at the same time.
I'm meteorologist Christine Hansen, the KOVR 13 Weather Center. A little cooler today, beautiful around the northern portion of the state, central portion as well. This is a look at the Sacramento River, and temperatures very comfortable, even for the opening of the state fair. Yesterday we had 80s. We're looking at 80s today. 86 in Orangevale, still a little on the hot side. Yuba City 96 degrees, 88 in Modesto, 80s in Tahoe. So what about the rest of your weekend? Sunday, will it be as cool? Will we even talk about some rain? Well, you'll find out. Stay with us. A complete Northern California forecast is coming up.
Yeah, if we can get it, please, thanks. And Mike is off cue.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight, a 7-year-old Stockton boy is recovering after toy poppers exploded on him without warning. Now his mom and fire investigators are wondering how safe these Sprite bombs really are. Rebecca Somack joins us now.
Absolutely, Michelle. All parents should listen to this story so they can protect their kids from an accident like this happening involving a very popular toy. It was an extremely scary situation for Trisha Velasquez and her son Brandon after 2 packages of these so-called Sprite bombs reacted without warning.
He was screaming and there was smoke just everywhere.
7-year-old Brandon Velasquez, back from Damerson Hospital, shows us the burns he suffered Saturday night after 2 packages of Sprite bombs reacted, if at all. In the meantime, he has a warning to parents.
I would say until we're done with our investigation that if these are seen around, that the parents should take control of those, at least until we come up and find out what these things are made of and what the danger could be.
Will you ever play with these again?
No.
And Mike, does all that?
Oh, a tough lesson to learn for him. We found similar products on the internet, all said 100% safe. That's the scary thing. The Sprite bomb package says it's made in Taiwan. As for warning information, it says to throw it on the ground only, don't eat it. You asked to keep it in a cool place away from fire, and it's designed for ages 8 and up. That is all that's listed. Brandon is doing well, and of course we'll keep you posted on the investigation.
I'm looking at the package. It does look very kid-friendly, and are these the same type?
I know you
have
the boys, so
and they play with the ones that pop on the ground.
There are these little, like the cap guns. I've seen those. There's also sawdust ones.
Sawdust ones.
I think those are probably what you're talking about. I think, you know, 10 years ago there was these other balls that you cracked together. They're all very similar, but these are specifically small, tiny green balls. And of course you saw them brown there because the green obviously was the chemical reaction.
Yeah, poor Brandon.
Scary stuff.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Rebecca. Well, Valley officers were out on the Sacramento River today, cracking down on boaters driving drunk.
Mike Q.
Welcome back. We're going to start with the Olympics. They are officially over, and what a party at tonight's closing ceremonies. Let me tell you, they were rocking tonight. Hopefully we can show that video. There's some fireworks going off. Now, Mia Hamm carried the American flag into the stadium for the U.S. She, of course, is retiring. Now, a little Greek orphan girl put out the flame tonight. Absolutely beautiful. The next Olympics, of course, will be held in 2008 in Beijing. Now, these Olympics, as far as the competition goes, ended on kind of a strange note. It happened in the men's marathon. Vanderlei de Lima, who's from Brazil, was leading with 5 miles to go when a man jumped out of the crowd and grabbed him. Several people rushed to help him, but he lost several seconds. You can see how upset he was. He wound up finishing in 3rd. An American took silver. It's the first time a U.S. runner has medaled in the men's marathon since the 1976 games. And there you see him coming in, a true sportsmen there. Now, the U.S.'s final gold medal in these Olympics came in boxing. Andre Ward from Oakland won in the light heavyweight division. It's the U.S.'s first gold in boxing since the 1996 Games. So how did the U.S. finish? Well, for the third straight time, the U.S. tops the medal charts at the Summer Olympics. The U.S. won 103 medals. That's more than they did in Sydney and Atlanta. They won 35 gold, 39 silver, and 29 bronze. Russia finished second, followed by China, Australia, and Germany. Now, the U.S. women's basketball team won gold yesterday. They beat Australia 74-63. The U.S. women haven't lost a game in the Olympics since 1992. Most of the women are now on their way back to the U.S. because they've got to get back to their jobs. Playing in the WNBA, the Mars get back at it on Wednesday up in Seattle, and you can bet Yolanda Griffith, who helped win gold for the U.S., will be telling her Sacramento teammates all about Athens.
And roll 9-8 white track.
I'm happy. I'm excited. This is a great team they put together. We had great coaching staffs. We had great leaders. 3 players going for their third gold medal. My second. You know, what else can you ask for? I mean, it's just a great feeling.
And Mike, take 3.
2 golds for her. How great, huh? Now to baseball. And how about Barry Bonds tonight? He was incredible. Let's head out to Atlanta where the Giants were taking on the Braves. There's Hank Aaron, the home run king, watching Bonds tonight. And Bonds put on quite a show in the third. The huge bomb here off his former teammate Russ Ortiz. That's a 467-foot shot, the second longest at Turner Field, and it's 2-0 Giants. But guess what? He's not done. In the 5th, his next at bat, he does it again. This one went 462 feet, the 3rd longest at Turner Field. He now has 696 for his career. He is closing in on Babe Ruth for 2nd place on the all-time home run list. Bonzo still not done here. He rips a shot through the middle. Bonds went 4 for 5 tonight with 6 RBIs. He's batting .368, tops in the National League. Giants going to win 9-5. They are tied for that wild card spot with the Cubs and the Padres. Amazing. Now let's head out to Oakland for the A's and the D-Rays, and I got to show you this catch. It is sweet. That's Damian Roll stretching out for the catch, and he's got it. At the time, the A's were threatening. Now, this was brutal. Mark Mulder was on his way to winning his Major League leading 18th game. The A's were up 6-4 when he left. In comes Octavio Dotel in the 9th, and he gives up back-to-back homers. He blows it for Mulder. That's Jose Cruz Jr. there with a bomb, and we're tied at 6. But it did make for a pretty dramatic ending. In the bottom of the 9th, the A's have 2 on. There's Billy McMillan, the former River Cat, and boom! That ball is gone. That's a 3-run shot, and the A's go on to win 9-6 to remain 2 games up on the Angels in the American League West. Man, the River Cats, boy, are they struggling at the moment. They lost again today to Tucson. They, of course, are trying to clinch that Southern Division title. And they're going to have to do it now on the road. Today, they play their final regular season game at Raleigh Field. Beautiful out there. Now, Tucson jumped out to an early 4-0 lead. They also played some nice defense in this game. Look at this catch coming up here. The River Cats never got back in it. They lose 5-1. They've now lost 4 straight to Tucson, so their magic number remains at 5 for clinching that Southern Division title. They have 8 road games left to do it. Well, if you've been following this, it looks like Deion Sanders is going to be back on the football field pretty soon. Supposedly, he is just days away from announcing his comeback. He will play for the Baltimore Ravens, who have left a spot open for him. Now, there's nothing official on this yet, so we are just waiting. But it would be something else, huh, to see him back on the field again. He was so fun to watch, and he obviously always had interesting things to say. You know, I don't know how some of these guys on the PGA Tour do it. Some go so long between wins. The guy who won today went 274 events between wins. Let's head out to the Buick Championship. This is Tim Herron's tee shot on 16. If he gets a hole-in-one here, he gets a new car. Shot looks good. The ball lands on the green, rolls. But look at this. It stops just an inch from the hole, and he loses out. Great reaction here, though. Aw, shucks. Now, Herron had a chance to win it, went into a playoff, but Woody Austin is going to sink this birdie putt on the first playoff hole to win for the first time since 1995. Now to the ladies, and this is why I think golf is the most frustrating sport. This is Grace Park, just a couple feet away. She misses. Is that brutal or what? She had a 5-shot lead at one time, but she bogeyed 3 holes in the back 9, opened the door for Lorena Ochoa, who birdied 3 of the last 4 holes. She finishes with a 65 and wins for the 2nd time in her career.
Okay, and this is it. Last sportscast for a couple months.
I think I'm going to have a baby.
You're going to have a baby or something? You've been hiding it so well. They've been shooting you higher and higher up here.
Like this.
Megan Elizabeth will be coming into the world.
Okay, give them a
all right. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
And hit your card.
All right. And up next on KOVR 13 News, a big competition for some little dogs. Find out what made these little ones give it all they've got. This story next.
And roll break.